So being video number 4, I'm just gonna show you something about temperature real quick. I lowered the temperature. I told you all I wanted a temperature that I wanted to pick a temperature that would keep my water hot, where it would bubble. If it's not bubbling a little bit, it's not hot enough. Okay, I'm not telling you to bubble like crazy, like a crazy witch cauldron. It doesn't have to bubble that much, but it has to have a little bit of bubbling. But I told you I wanted the temperature where the water was hot enough to bubble, but it wasn't hot enough that I was steaming a lot of it out of the pot. Not hot enough for steaming, but hot enough for a little bit of bubbling. That's what I wanted. And that's what I got. Because let me show you. It's only been about 5 minutes since I lowered the temperature to that medium hot flame. But that is exactly what I want. And you're going to know what temperature is right on your stove, because you're going to receive the same results. There's going to be minimum steaming, not a lot of steam, if any, and there's going to be some bubbling inside, which is what you want. That's a very comfortable temperature to leave your pot on by itself on the stove, because you're not losing a lot of water, so there's always going to be water inside and whatever. So let me show you. See, this is the result. There is some steaming happening over here. It's not a lot. Actually, I could lower it a little bit still. There. So, the steaming is minimum, is very minimum. I can actually lower it to where there's none, and that's what I just did now. But you see inside, not a lot of steaming, so I'm not losing water. And inside, there's bubbling. You see that bubbling, those little bubbles here and there? So they're not big bubbles, they're not crazy witch bubbles like a witch cauldron. But there is bubbling inside. And you see that the moment I opened the pot, I took off the lid, the bubbling stopped. You see? It was bubbling, but not anymore, because like I told you, the pot is what keeps everything inside the pot getting hot and not losing its temperatures. You take away the lid and everything inside just becomes cooler, because the heat inside is spreading with the rest of the temperature in the environment, But you don't want to do that. You want to isolate the heat so that it stays inside the pot. And the bubbling basically stops when you take off the lid. That's why you always have to have it covered, because it helps you cook your stuff faster and not lose water. That's why it's always covered. So you see that's the temperature I achieved, and that is the ideal temperature. Is no water. You only want to lose water when you want to lose water. If you put a lot of water in the beginning, and it's a lot of water, then you can cook at a high temperature to lose the water, because you want to lose water. You don't want to end up with that much water at the end. So you can afford to crank it up to a high temperature, and you can start losing your water and losing your water. But the moment you come check your pot and you see like, okay, I lost enough water. If I lose any more, my beans are not going to be covered. Then at that point you lower your temperature. Okay? So a temperature at this point, I don't want to lose any more water. This is the amount of water I want to have at the end. So I want a temperature where I'm not losing water by steam, but my water is still bubbling, because it's hot enough. It's a hot enough temperature for a bubble. And that's why I achieved it. Here it is. That's basically the entire video. I'll show you more later. Bye.